I'm Nicole and this is Letting It Be So. I'm here today for you with another Friday Sews catch up, which is a hashtag that was started by Jen from Today's Sewing Room so that everyone in the sewing and crafty community could have a hashtag to share everything they've been getting up to over the past week and discover new people to follow who post on YouTube about their sewing and other creative pursuits. So here we are. So today I'm wearing a finished make. So what am I wearing and the sewing that I've been doing is going to be one and the same. So I am wearing my finished Tilly and the Buttons olive pinafore dress, which is from the Make It Simple book. So it's a very straightforward kind of shift style pinafore dress rather than the ones that are more like dungaree style. And I have made it in a very much deep stash corduroy fabric, which is it's got like a cream background, and then it's got these like little, I think they're actually like tiny little squares or diamonds shapes, but yeah, these speckles which are black and two different types of green. There's like a foresty green and a limey green, but gives an overall speckly effect. I will be putting in some like video or pictures of me in this because I appreciate now I'm wearing it, even if I levitate up so you can see a little bit more. You can't see the whole thing whilst I'm sat down talking to you. So yeah, I made my usual Tilly and the Buttons size, which is a size 3. This isn't meant to be like a super fitted dress because it's obviously meant for layering things underneath. So I've got on today just like this is a shop bought roll neck top in a grey underneath it. So yeah, it's not meant to be super fitted. It's that kind of like shift dress style pinafore rather than one that nips in too much at the waist. All of mine are sewed in the baby cord. I even did the facings in the baby cord because it's like really quite thin. If it had been a thicker corduroy, then I would definitely have done as it says in the pattern book, to maybe do the facings in like a cotton, so that you don't have like lots of bulky seams. It's got an all-in-one facing, which I haven't done one of those in a while, and I don't know if there's a different way that I've done it when I have in the past, but the instructions, like, I got there in the end, but I had a few moments of, am I doing this right? And it's like trusting the process that you've pulled the right bit through the strap to get to the bit that you need to sew down, so that then you can turn everything the right way around and it's all neatly like finished off and there's no raw edges and the facings all enclosed. So like, yeah, you can see it's like the same on the inside here. So yeah, but other than that, very straightforward. So I finished it off with some snaps. That's what I recommend in the pattern. You could obviously do normal buttons if you wanted to, but I had some snaps, just the right amount and the right size. I'm going to stand up. Hopefully this isn't going to look too weird to show you the bottom, because I did the pocket version. You don't have to add pockets, but yeah, I did the pocket version. I did also cut out the little back tab thing, but it wants you to attach that with snaps, and I only had 10 of these, which was taken up by the front and the pockets. And I thought just like adding it to itself, because my pattern is so like it just like blended in, so I was like, there's not really much point in putting the little back like tab thing on. So but yeah, if I was doing it in a fabric that was less busy and had the right amount of snaps, then I would have kept that bit on, because there's another little cute detail and then something you quite often see on those style of dresses. I'm pretty happy with how it's turned out, I think, and again, this is like a personal preference of style rather than anything to do with the pattern. I think maybe it's not my favourite shape on me, because I think again it like, yeah, I'm very much I like my silhouette to be nipped in at the waist. My waist is the smallest part of me. I just like how that looks on my general proportions. Yeah, I like to have that little bit of shape that when things are either, you know, have a definite waist seam, or like, you know, fit and flare dresses, that kind of thing, that is my preferred silhouette on myself. But obviously this isn't meant to be that, and I could, you know, there is a bit, oh, stand up again, there is, you know, there is definitely room that I could take out some in the waist seam if I wanted to, and maybe I will go back and maybe like pin it and then put it on again and see what that does to the overall fit of the rest of the dress. The reason I haven't done it is obviously there's no problem getting in and out because it's all buttons all the way down, but I don't know if it will do anything weird to like how the back sits, because whilst as I've said on this channel before, I don't really have a bust, but I do have a bottom, and I think I'm worried that if I take any off the sides, then that will make like the back bunch up, because I have a sticky out bottom. So there, that's the only thing, but that is more of like a personal preference, and it's like not really how the style of dress is intended. Like, it is supposed to be a, you know, a shift dress that's not super fitted, but in like a pinafore style. So yeah, I think that is mostly just about, you know, how I feel about it on me. Yeah, but otherwise I'm pretty happy with it. Like I say, it was pretty simple to sew. Obviously it's from the book Make It Simple, so you would hope that it would be. The only thing I did do was that when I was sewing the back and side seams together, so you like sew at the shoulders and then you sew the side seams at the same time, so then you can add in your facing. I was pinning the side seams together and I was like, oh, I seem to be missing some notches here. That's obviously just me, and just like dismissed it as I've done a bad job of cutting out, and I've like managed to, you know, because it's a pattern I haven't used before. I'm like, oh, I've just missed some notches on one of these pieces. I didn't think anything of it. So I had, yeah, sewn the shoulder seams, the side seams, and I was just about to then, and I'd overlocked the side seams as well, and then I was just about to I was pinning the facing on, and I suddenly was like, why doesn't the neckline of the front of the dress look the same as the front of the facing? And yeah, then it suddenly dawned on me that, oh, the reason why your notches were missing was because you had the front pieces round the wrong way. So I had effectively sewn the side seam of the back of the dress to the front seam of the front panels of the dress, which meant like I mean it wasn't super obvious in terms of like the shape of the dress, but obviously, you know, I was then like, I think I probably could have fudged it and it would have been fine. A little bit of jiggling around, I think it would have, you know, I could have stretched it a bit to make it work. But yeah, so there was quite a lot of unpicking. It took me a good while to unpick all those seams and the overlocking, and then yeah, repin it all back and sew it up. So yeah, would have been even more simple had I not done that. But yeah, that's just a lesson for me to remember that, yeah, double check and don't just dismiss it as you are bad at cutting notches. Do actually check that you have got the pattern piece the right way around. So yeah, that was the one issue with that, but that was entirely of my own making. But yeah, so that is my olive pinafore. I had thought that I was going to make another one. This was supposed to be my like wearable 12 because this was like super deep stash. because I have this, I showed it a couple of weeks ago, like minty green, like this is not a baby cord, this is like a bit thicker corduroy that I got from Mazzy. So I was thinking that this would be my wearable twirl, and then I would use this like to make one, like, you know, my best one. I don't know. Not there's anything wrong with this, but you know what I mean. But I just don't think that I love the shape on me enough to want to use this fabric box. This is really nice. It's got like a sort of washed effect, you know. I really like this, so I think I might cut out the Bobbi Pinafore. I could do a Pippi Pinafore. That is still an option. That the Jennifer Lauren Handmade Pippi Pinafore is my go-to pinafore dress, so that is an option. But I do also have the Tilly the Buttons Bobbi that I printed and then never stuck together, so I would have to stick it together first. But that's just got a few more details on it in terms of, yeah, a few different bits to what the Pippi has. So yeah, jury's out as to what pinafore this is going to be, but it could just be the Pippi. I'm glad I tried this, and you know, I don't dislike it, but yeah, I don't love it enough to use like fabric that I'm more excited about wearing, yeah, to make another one. But yeah, if there are any other pinafore dresses that I know Ruan from the Yorkshire Sew Girl did a video recently about pinafore patterns, and she was focusing I think on ones that were probably don't fit what I like at all, probably the exact opposite in terms of like patterns that are not fitted around the waist and tummy area. So I want the opposite of that. I want them to be, yeah, a bit more fitted, because that just fits my personal aesthetic. So yeah, if anyone thinks of any other patterns that they've seen that fit that bill and that would work with a, yeah, medium thickness corduroy, I think it's about, yeah, probably like an 8 wale corduroy, something like that, 8-10 wale. But yeah, that is what I'm considering for like sort of next projects. So last week I shared with you some fabric that I got from Mazzy, as I'd done a little bit of online shopping due to not being able to go to the knitting and stitching show from being unwell, and I had some other fabric that was on order from Simple Life Fabrics that hadn't quite made it. It literally arrived as I was finishing filming, and I had run out of time last week to film, so I couldn't add it in. But that means I can share it with you now. So first off, like, how cute is this, right? So in the package there was this like little bag, little drawstring bag, with a really cute, like, you know, handwritten like note, which I think is so sweet. But yeah, cute little bag as well. So I think that it's going to go in my bedroom. Quite handy for like you know, keeping things like hair bubbles and whatnot all together rather than, you know, being spread around the house. So yeah, thought that was a really sweet addition from yeah, a small business. Okay, so I got 2 fabrics. The first is another of the new Nerida Hansen fabrics. So this is one of the viscoses, and this was, I think, one of the first ones that I saw from that new collection that, yeah, I was really excited about. So I can't remember what the name of this print is, but yeah, it's on a dark green background, but the majority of the print is, yeah, this like pink and orange, and yeah, there's like the green stems. There's also a little bit of like purple in it, but yeah, just kind of like abstract floral type. So yes, it's just a viscose. I got 2 meters. Does it say on the selvage what it's called? Colourful Garden. Yeah, I think there's a couple of different colourways of this one, but this was the one that I really liked. And yeah, I'm trying to decide whether it should be a dress or a blouse. Like, I did mention that I would like to make a Adeline dress that I recently did in the cotton lawn in a viscose, so that would be an option. Yeah, I do have a few other viscose dresses on my autumn winter plans, but equally, you know, a nice blouse would be cute as well. So yeah, haven't quite decided what this is going to be, but yeah, I just really love this print and I knew it would work. I feel like it's a print that works both in autumn, you know, if it's a blouse, wearing it with like jeans, boots and stuff, but also, you know, equally in the spring and even summer. Like, I think it works for all seasons. So that is that one. And the other fabric that I picked up from Sarah was a remnant piece. So I love sewing with jersey, and yeah, she had some remnant pieces. So I think this is about 1.2 meters. It was just over a meter, and it's this. Obviously, because it is the season of leopard print. It's this, yeah, bright pink leopard print cotton jersey fabric. It's quite a small print. I'm not someone who likes too much like yellow and orange. It's just not my personal preference for like a colour. I don't feel like it suits me that well. I don't enjoy wearing it, so that's why, you know, with obviously there being so much leopard print, I'm always conscious of, does this, you know, I like it, but does it actually suit me to actually wear? So that's kind of why I haven't got maybe as into the leopard print trend as I would like, because yeah, I just don't know that I would feel like it suited me if I actually bought it. The more yellowy tones, yeah. But this is pink, and yeah, I'm very happy with that. So yeah, like I said, there's 1.2 meters. Obviously my first inclination was, you know, some kind of t-shirt. Obviously long sleeve t-shirt would be, not with this, but like you guys have seen my black corduroy Pippi Pinafore. I would be great for layering under that. But then I remembered that I have two pairs of like jersey pyjama bottoms that have been on rotation for quite some time now, that are both starting to look a little bit, you know, they've been well loved and very much worn, and you know, even with the greatest will in the world, they are starting to look a little bit scruffy. So 1.2 meters would definitely be enough to make another pair of pyjama bottoms, to refresh that part of my wardrobe, because I don't know about you, but my pyjama section of my wardrobe tends to be stuff that's been relegated from previously being wearable outside of the house. So I have like t-shirts that, you know, at one point I wore, you know, on a day-to-day basis, and then yeah, they have been worn so much and washed so much that they're looking a bit bobbly, a bit faded, and so then I'm like, oh yeah, I can just wear that as pyjamas. So my pyjamas are always like a little bit scruffy. So yeah, I feel like even though I would love a top in this, I think what it should be in terms of what I actually need in my wardrobe, where there's a gap, or where there should be a gap once I you know, put those yeah, tatty looking ones to bed for the last time, that it should really be pyjamas. So I think that's what I'm going to do. And I use the Tilly and the Buttons, the Juno pyjamas from their stretch book, because they're just super easy. You know, all I need is, I've definitely got some, you know, got some black ribbing back there in my stash. So yeah, you just need a little bit of ribbing for the cuffs, and you just fold over at the top. So they're a very quick make, but will definitely much required. Yeah, some new pyjamas. Alrighty, that is all of the sewing and crafting content that I have. I did put out a video earlier this week, so there'll have been 2 videos from me this week by the time this goes up. So my other video was about the contents of my whip basket, or bucket, which is my big rope basket that was overflowing with whips that had been stopped at various stages in the sewing process. And so I went through them all to talk about whether I think they'll actually get finished, what ones I could finish reasonably easily, what might need a bit of tweaking, etc. Because there is the Finish Your Whip challenge. I'll put the details below, but yeah, Lisa is hosting a challenge to finish those whips that have been hanging around unloved and unfinished, to have an actual, well, it doesn't have to be a garment, whatever. And I think it's not even restricted to sewing, like other crafts are welcome as well. So yeah, there's definitely a few things there that I can finish. Like I'll link to that video for you in case you haven't seen it. But yeah, there's a few things from that I should be able to add to my sewing plans for the next week. There's a jersey top that can probably be done quite quickly, and some other things that maybe only need like buttonholes and stuff, like some very minimal finishing things. But yeah, there's a full video about that for you to check out if you'd like to. In terms of other stuff, so yeah, it's not been too much happening at the moment really. Obviously I've been, gradually recovering from having the shingles, feeling a lot better now. I've had a lot of time to catch up on sleep that I had missed, but yeah, I've just been taking things slowly to recover. So yeah, not really been doing too much, but that's given me plenty of time, outside of working to sew, knit. I'm almost finished another cardigan, so yeah, have a couple. So I'm almost finished another cardigan with my knitting, which is what I tend to do, of an evening when it's either a bit too dark to sew, or my brain power is maybe not there enough that I won't just make silly mistakes when I'm sewing. But knitting is a bit more mindless for me, particularly if you're just knitting a sleeve or something like that. So yeah, almost having a cardigan finished. But yeah, don't really have a lot of plans for the weekend, so I think it will be very much like last weekend, which maybe a bit boring, but I'm happy. So yeah, sewing. There's more Formula One. They're racing in Mexico this weekend. Football. Yeah, I think it's just going to be another pretty chilled out weekend, because after this weekend I've got like stuff on, I think, most weekends, probably for about 4 to 6 weeks, what with actually going to some football matches. I've got friends coming to visit. There's also, I probably should mention this just so that I don't leave it till the last minute if people are interested. So a friend of mine, who's part of our online knit group, she is organising a sort of quite small yarn event in Woolwich in London. It's called Make Joy. I'll put a link down in the description box if anyone is interested. So it's just it's nothing on the scale of the bigger yarn shows that we get in the UK. It's there's a much smaller selection of people selling yarn and other knitting and crocheting adjacent products. I think there's someone who does like project bags and other notions and things, as well as some yarn hand dyers, and there's also some talks as well. But yeah, that is on the 9th of November. The tickets are on sale now, so I will put a link to it in this description box if anyone is interested. If you are a knitter and just want, I think it's going to be she's done a couple of these events before that I've been to, and yeah, it's nice having something on a much smaller scale in comparison to some of the big yarn shows, which can be quite overwhelming with so much stuff and a lot of people. And yeah, just having time to sit and knit and natter, and listen to some talks as well, and yeah, with a few vendors there also selling knitting supplies if you are in the mood to shop a little bit. So yeah, I will put a link down in that, because yeah, that's on the 9th of November, and yeah, I would be remiss if I didn't talk about it in time for people to actually consider going if they are a nitty person. But yeah, that is everything that I have for this week. Yeah, I feel like there should be more, but then I look at the timer and I've been talking for like 27 minutes, so it's clearly not short, but yes. Alright, thank you so much for watching, everybody. Obviously it would be amazing if people could like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and yeah, thank you so much for being here. I'm hoping to try and post like twice a week. I've come up with a plan of some videos that I want to make, like you know, an extra video alongside the Friday sews. Obviously, you know, the best laid plans don't always work out, but fingers crossed that I can stick to it. One thing I did want to ask if anyone has any suggestions or inspiration ideas. So tickets for my work Christmas party just went on sale, and they like to have a theme. They're not like super strict about it in terms of like what people are wearing. So I think last year was something just like glitz and sparkle, so it wasn't particularly, you know, difficult, and there was no kind of, you know, if you didn't want to be sparkly, no one was gonna like, you know, stop you from coming in or anything. But yeah, so the tickets just went on sale, and they the theme this year is 70s disco. And yeah, I had been planning on making a dress, but yeah, the theme of 70s disco has kind of thrown me, because yeah, I don't really know. I'm not a jumpsuit person. I don't, you know, I see other people wearing jumpsuits and they look amazing, and I feel like I've put somebody else's clothes on, and I don't, yeah, I just don't enjoy myself in them. And obviously, you know, my instinctual, if someone said 60s disco, I just think of like glitter balls and like gold lame, and gold lame is not something that I think would suit me. So if anyone wants to like just shout out, not necessarily even like sewing patterns, just some like general, like, you know, if someone says like you have to make something why do I keep saying 60s, 70s disco inspired, like what colours, fabrics, designs, like what comes to your mind? Because yeah, I'm a little bit stumped, and I might just, you know, I'm going to do a video about it. That's one of my plans. But yeah, if anyone has any suggestions like ahead of that video that I could go and investigate and see if I think that maybe I can come up with something in that ballpark, then yeah, please do let me know, because yeah, it's not something, yeah, it's not one that my aesthetic immediately goes to, so I think that's why I'm a little bit stumped. So yeah, thank you in advance for anyone's suggestions on that front. That would be amazing. All right, I definitely have talked for too long, so I am going to head off now. Thank you so much for watching, and I will be back next week with another video. Happy sewing and crafting, and I'll speak to you all again soon. Bye.